Let's make a pumpkin cream pie. If you're short on desserts to bring for Thanksgiving, stick around and I'll show you how to make this. For all my pumpkin spice and pumpkin lovers, this is one dessert you're sure to love. So the first thing you're going to need is a graham cracker crust. Now you can either make it or buy it. If you're going to make it, here's how you do it. First thing you're going to do, get yourself a box of graham crackers. I got the Honey Made 14.4 ounce box, but you could use whatever. Now you're going to need about two and a half of these sleeves here. Break out your food processor, but like I know you heard me say in other videos, if you don't have a food processor or don't want to use it, you could just as easily put these in a Ziploc bag and crush them with a rolling pin or a hammer or whatever. Place your graham crackers into your food processor or your bag or whatever you're using. Give them a whirl. Now you want to crush these up until they're, like a fine sand mixture texture. Add your graham cracker crumbs to a separate bowl. Now for this recipe, you're going to need about 1 1/4 cup of graham cracker crumbs, which for me was about 2 1/2 of those sleeves inside the box. So now in a separate bowl, we're going to measure out 1 1/4 cup of our graham cracker crumbs. And to that, we are going to measure out 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar and add that to your crumbs. Grab a fork and give that a little pre-mix. Then we are going to add in 5 tablespoons of melted butter. Grab your fork and get to work. You're going to want to mix this until you get sort of a wet sand consistency. Full recipe, amounts, and ingredients will be in the description below. And if you like what you see so far, remember to hit the video with a like and or a comment. And if you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It means a lot to me. Okay, back to the video. Once you got your wet sand consistency, break out the old 9-inch pie dish. Glass or metal is fine, or even if you got one of those disposable aluminum ones, that will work too. Place your crumb mixture into the pie dish. Now you can start with a fork, just work slowly and start going around and start flattening and compacting and evening out those graham cracker crumbs. After that, I like to switch to a flat bottomed glass. Continue flattening your crumbs on the bottom, and you want to start pushing those crumbs up towards the side to sort of make, that border. Patience is key here, especially if this is not something you're used to doing. Just take your time and work it. And once you're happy with the way your pie crust is looking, we're going to bake this in a preheated 350-degree oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. And after this, because this is a no-bake recipe, our pie crust is done. Now, because this is a no-bake recipe, you're going to want to let this cool completely before we move on to the next step. So I suggest you let it rest on the counter, the stovetop, whatever, for about 2 hours minimum before we move on to the next step. Now let's go over the ingredients for our filling. We're going to need 8 ounces of softened cream cheese and 4 tablespoons of butter or margarine softened, 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree, some vanilla extract, and some pumpkin spice flavoring. Now if you don't have this, you can use the seasonings. I'll leave a recipe in the description below. And we're also going to use some good old-fashioned powdered sugar. Into a mixing bowl, we're adding the softened cream cheese, the softened butter, the 1 1/2 cups of powdered sugar, a splash of vanilla, and a teaspoon of our pumpkin spice. Got the stand mixer with the paddle attachment, and we're going to beat this on medium speed for about 2 to 3 minutes until everything is incorporated and nice and fluffy. Add in your can of pumpkin puree, and then again we are going to mix this on medium speed for about 2 to 3 minutes until everything is well incorporated. Scoop all of your pie filling into your pie crust. Once all your pie filling is into your crust, go ahead and sort of even this out a little bit. Make sure it's all laid out right up to the edges. Then, very important, you want to refrigerate this overnight or for a minimum of 12 hours. It's the next day, a cool 12 hours later, and we're whipping up some whipped cream. If you want a good recipe for that, link will be in the description below. You could make your own, or some cool hip would be just as good. Add a generous amount of your whipped cream right to the top of your pie, and we're going to start spreading this out. Now for personal preference and for appearances, I'm not going to spread this all the way to the edge. Rather, just about an inch away from the crust. I'm going to leave some space. After all your whipped cream is on and you got this the way you like it, now I'm going to let this chill in the fridge for about 30 minutes or until I'm ready to serve. And that's it. Our no-bake pumpkin cream pie is done. Serve this with a cup of coffee or hot chocolate and enjoy. That's it for this video. See you in the next one, and happy holidays, guys.